A flood of nonsense. We're drowning in it. Let's face it, folks. We live in a world overflowing with information. Your Uncle Bob's Facebook feed is a minefield of dubious claims. Your co-workers' conspiracy theories would make your hair stand on end. It's enough to make you want to crawl under a rock and stay there. The problem is not all of this information is created equal. Some of it is pure, unadulterated nonsense. And sadly, many people swallow it whole without a second thought. They see a headline on social media and hit that share button faster than you can say critical thinking. This is where the trouble begins. When people blindly follow unfounded information, they can fall into a dangerous trap, a cult-like mentality. Now, before you picture robes and Kool-Aid, let's be clear. Cult mentality isn't just about strange groups in remote locations. It's about the loss of independent thought and the unquestioning acceptance of information, no matter how outlandish. And you know what? This stuff is everywhere. It's in the anti-vaccine groups, the flat earthers, and even some political movements. These groups thrive on misinformation and emotional manipulation, drawing people in with promises of belonging and simple answers to complex problems. But here's the thing. Blindly following anyone or anything is a recipe for disaster. It's time to wade through the sea of misinformation and start thinking for ourselves. Don't be a sheeple. Think for yourself. The good news is there's a simple solution to this mess. Think for yourself. Before you hit that share button or launch into a tirade about the latest conspiracy theory, stop and ask yourself a few questions. First, where did you get this information? Is it from a reputable source like a respected news organization or a peer-reviewed scientific journal? Or is it from a random blog, a YouTube comment section, or, God forbid, your Uncle Bob's Facebook feed? Next, consider the source's motivation. Are they trying to inform you with balanced and accurate information? Or are they pushing an agenda, trying to sell you something, or just looking for likes and shares? Finally, and this is the most crucial part, engage your critical thinking skills. Does the information make sense? Does it align with what you already know about the world? Is there evidence to support it, or is it just a bunch of baseless claims and emotional appeals? Look, I get it. Thinking critically takes effort. It's much easier to passively consume whatever information comes your way, but the easy way isn't always the right way. In the age of misinformation, critical thinking isn't just a good idea, it's a necessity. It's the only way to protect yourself from being manipulated and misled. Echo chambers, trapped in a bubble of nonsense. You know what doesn't help with the whole thinking for yourself thing? Echo chambers. These are online spaces where people with the same beliefs gather and reinforce each other's biases. Think of it like this. Imagine a world where everyone agrees with you all the time, no matter what you say. Sounds pretty great, right? Well, not so fast. The problem with echo chambers is that they create a distorted reality. When you're constantly surrounded by people who share your views, it's easy to start believing that those views are the only valid ones. You become blind to alternative perspectives and evidence that challenges your beliefs. This can lead to extreme and often harmful viewpoints. Suddenly, that conspiracy theory you saw online doesn't seem so crazy anymore. After all, everyone in your online group believes it. And anyone who disagrees, they're just sheeple, part of the problem, or worse. The thing is, real life isn't an echo chamber, thank goodness for small mercies. We live in a diverse world with a wide range of perspectives and opinions. And if we want to navigate this world effectively, we need to be able to engage with those different perspectives, not shut them out.
Cults aren't just for Jonestown. The signs are everywhere. So how do you know if you're caught in an echo chamber, or even worse, falling into a cult-like mentality? Well, there are a few warning signs to look out for.
First, pay attention to how the group makes you feel. Do you feel pressured to conform to their beliefs? Are you afraid to express your own opinions if they differ from the group's? If so, alarm bells should be ringing.
Second, look at how the group treats outsiders and dissenting voices. Do they demonize and dismiss anyone who disagrees with them? Do they discourage you from questioning the group's teachings or seeking information from outside sources? These are classic cult tactics designed to isolate members and maintain control.
Another red flag is the presence of a charismatic leader who demands absolute loyalty and obedience. This leader may claim to have special knowledge or a direct line to the truth. They may use fear, guilt, or manipulation to keep followers in line.
Finally, be wary of groups that require you to sever ties with your family and friends or to give up your personal possessions or autonomy. These demands are often a sign of a group that is more interested in controlling your life than in promoting your well-being.
Remember, cults don't start with mass suicides or spaceships. They start with subtle forms of manipulation and control. By recognizing the warning signs, you can protect yourself and those you care about from falling prey to these dangerous groups. So what if you realize you're stuck in an echo chamber or exhibiting cult-like behavior? First off, don't beat yourself up about it. It happens to the best of us. The important thing is to recognize the problem and take steps to break free.
First and foremost, diversify your information diet. Don't rely on just one source for news and information, especially if that source only confirms your existing biases. Seek out diverse perspectives from reputable news organizations, experts in relevant fields, and even people you disagree with. Remember, hearing different viewpoints won't kill you. In fact, it might just make you smarter.
Next, engage in respectful dialogue with people who hold different views. This doesn't mean you have to agree with them, but try to understand their perspective and the reasons behind their beliefs. You might be surprised by what you learn.
Don't be afraid to question your own beliefs. No one is right all the time. Be open to the possibility that you might be wrong, and be willing to adjust your views based on new information and evidence.
Finally, if you feel like you're in over your head, don't hesitate to seek help. Talk to a trusted friend, family member, therapist, or counselor. There's no shame in asking for support, and it might just be the best thing you can do for yourself.
Remember, breaking free from an echo chamber or cult-like mentality can be a challenging process. It takes courage, self-awareness, and a willingness to step outside of your comfort zone. But it's possible, and the rewards are well worth the effort.
Now for the moment of truth. Are you an independent thinker, bravely navigating the treacherous waters of information overload? Or are you a sheeple, blindly following the flock towards the precipice of misinformation? Let's find out. Ask yourself these questions. Do you blindly accept everything you see on social media? Do you get all your news from a single source that reinforces your existing beliefs? Do you surround yourself online and in person with people who only agree with you? Do you dismiss any information that challenges your worldview without considering its merits? Do you attack or belittle people who hold different opinions instead of engaging in respectful dialogue? If you answered yes to most of these questions, well, my friend, you might just be a sheeple. But don't despair. There's still hope. Start by questioning your own beliefs, seeking out diverse perspectives, and thinking critically about the information you encounter. Remember, being an independent thinker isn't about being right all the time. It's about being curious, open-minded, and willing to change your mind when presented with new evidence. It's about thinking for yourself, instead of letting others do the thinking for you. So go out there, flex those critical thinking muscles, and reclaim your intellectual independence. The fate of humanity might just depend on it.